to look at. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to show you a little bit of groundwork with Roxy. The groundwork is the foundation of everything we do in the saddle. I am a firm believer in the horse you lead is the horse you ride. So we want to teach your horse to be feeling of the rope and to be listening to you and your body language. We want to get leadership from the ground before we ride. So what I'm going to ask her to do, the first thing is I'm going to ask her to move around me. I want it to be on a loose rope. I don't want her pulling on me. I don't want her crowding my space. My hips are going to face her hips. I pretend I've got a laser in my belt buckle or the snap of my pants, and I just point my hips to her hips. Now, horses are herd animals, and they operate much like a cow does or a steer. And so when I put pressure here, this animal's going to move forward. If my pressure comes up here, get my horse paying attention, my horse should stop, okay? So one of the most common things I see is when people can't, they say, oh, I can't get my horse to go forward. Well, their body is pointing in the wrong direction. So if her drive line is at about her girth or her shoulder, and I'm pointing towards her hips, she should go forward. If my drive line shifts up here, she should stop. Okay, so that time it worked out. So usually that's the first thing to check when you're doing this if it's not working. Where's your drive line? Where's your laser pointing? So I'm just going to ask her to speed it up a little bit. Another thing when you're doing this is I want my horses to just go forward at the pace I tell them. I don't want to sit here and nag and twirl. If I tell her to walk, she should walk, and then I should let her walk. Because what we do here, we want to transfer to the saddle. When I get on and ride, do I want to kick, 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 kick? No, I want my horse to walk. So I should expect the same thing here. She should just keep walking. If I ask her to trot, she should just keep trotting. Okay, so then she should just keep trotting. I shouldn't have to work real hard at this. I need to liven her up a little bit. So get going. I asked you to trot. My hand with the rope is a little bit ahead of my body and out, kind of giving her a place to go. The next step after my horse goes forward is to step the hindquarters under. So I take my hand that's closest to the tail. I'm going to reach over with my thumb down. Grab the rope. The rope comes out of the bottom of my hand. Okay? See how that is? That puts me in a better position to control my horse. Okay? So this is how I do it again. Hand by the tail, reach over, thumb down, palm to my horse, forehand to my horse. Grab my rope and lift. Now, the way I'm going to lift is I want everything I do on the ground to transfer to the saddle. So when I'm sitting up here and I step my horse's hindquarters under, and my hand brings the rope to the hip. So I want to teach the same thing from the ground. So I'm going to bring my hand right here as if I was sitting in the saddle. Now if you notice, the rope is coming out the bottom. Here's where my thumb is. My forearm is here. I'm walking into her hind end. Then if you want to finesse it up a little more, I'm going to lift slightly as the inside hind leaves the ground. And that's where I can get those nice deep steps and get it fluid. Okay, so that's the second step, is getting the hindquarters to step under. So it'll look like this. Horse is moving around. I'm going to take this hand, pick up, lift, step her under. Now she faces me. I'm going to move her over a little bit. Okay, pick up, lift, she's facing me. Now the next step is I want to bring the front end back the other direction. Okay. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to then extend this lead out. See how her nose is tipping in that direction? And I'm going to put pressure on this outside shoulder so that that front foot reached out and back. We'll do that a couple more times. Step under. Now it's same hand. Now I change the way the halter is moving under her throat. Okay, so she feels that. See how she's getting her feet ready? And then I'm saying move over. So what's happening as we're doing this is we're moving the hind end, we're moving the front end, and we're separating them. So she understands by the feel of the rope whether or not she's moving the front or the back. A lot of times I see people do groundwork and the horse does change directions, but they haven't separated the hindquarters and the front end, and that's the important piece. So when we get on, we can separate the hindquarters and the front end. There's the hindquarters. There's, oh, that was not a real good step. We'll try it again. There's hindquarters and the front end. Hindquarters and front end. She's kind of dragging that front foot on that side, so we'll do that a couple more times. There's the hind. We'll tell her to work a little harder at the front. There's the hind. Work a little harder, work a little harder. There you go.